Oh man, there's a LEGO customs crisis downtown. We're gonna have to send him in. Today we're gonna be sending out LEGO customs based on Dispatch. I've made all the Z team plus a couple extras, so be sure to keep up and stay to the end of the video for those. But let's get things started with Robert Robertson, aka Mecha Man. I still can't believe his actual name is Robert Robertson, but let's continue. We're using the hair from Jules from one of the Friends sets, the head from Hawkeye, the torso from Eric Selvig with the arms from Alice in Wonderland, the hips are from the Hun Warrior with the actual legs from Loki. And then you could also give him Agent Coulson's head to give him a headset if you'd like. I haven't made a full Mecha Man suit, but I have made a Mecha Man suit, if that makes any sense. So for this, I've gone for the helmet from one of the Ultron Sentries, and the same head from Hawkeye, and then this McLaren racing suit with the hand swapped out. If you did want a full Mecha Man suit though, Thescrapboxoffcial on Instagram has a great design, so I'll put their link on screen as well. And then I've also given him a wrench, but if you wanted a different option for an accessory, you could also have Beef. So for Beef, I've just used the black Corgi mold from the LEGO Friends set 42641, but I'll also put his part number on screen. And now we move on to Invisigal. For her, we have Kai's hair from Ninjago, the head from Sparkplug, the torso from this Rock Singer minifigure, the hips from Black Widow, and then the legs from the Skater Girl CMF. But as you can see, I've also given her one of the arms and one of the legs from the Spider-Bat minifigure to make it seem like she's turning invisible. But obviously if you don't want this effect, just use the corresponding leg and arm. And then we go from loving Robert to hating Robert, here's Flambe. I've given him the hair from Moni from Moana 2, with the head from Infinity War Bucky, the torso from Lobster Loving Batman with some black arms, the legs from Far From Home Spider-Man, as well as a little fire piece. If you don't like this design for Flambe though, or you don't have the parts, you could also make a similar one. So here I've used that Moni hair once again, with the head from the CMF Winter Soldier minifigure, the torso from General Zod with some orange arms, and the legs from Daffy Duck. And then, I don't have it to show you guys unfortunately, but there is also the head from Albert Runcorn from Harry Potter. Or you can combine the two in a way and give him a microphone and have him drunk singing at the villain bar. I'll leave that one up to you. Then we move on to Punch Up. This wasn't exactly the best video to not have pants on for. He uses the Henry Cavill Superman hair, with the Bernie the cab driver head, the torso from Frodo Baggins with some bandage pieces to represent wrist wraps, and then some short legs from Poppy from Animal Crossing. All these customs in this video are flesh tone, but if this wasn't flesh tone, this one's perfect in my opinion. It's a shame we're not doing yellow tone, but I just wanted to show it anyways. Now, on to Malevola. Malevola uses a little bit of an unconventional design, but bear with me and I'll walk you through it. The piece for her hair/horns is from the Tiefling Sorcerer, with the head from Red She-Hulk. The torso is from Nexo Knight's Flamethrower, or the Genie Jafar one. Then the tail from the Devil Kid. The hips from this one Builder minifigure part. And then the legs from this City Bandit, just to give them a little bit of extra detail. You're going to want to take the skirt from Disco Alfred, and then make it backwards underneath the devil tail. It looks a little bit awkward, but you could always double it up on the other side if it really bothers you that much. If you don't like the idea still, there is the torso from Sashimi, but I don't think Malevola would appreciate being given chest hair, so you might have to edit that or something. I've used these two pieces for her sword, but the Ninjago reveal blades are also great. And then cover your eyes because we're moving on to Prism. For her, we're going to use the hair from the Nurse Android, the head from Power Man, the torso from Catwoman with one of the arms from the Golden Dragon Zane, as well as one from Avenged Stone Warrior, and then the legs from Blue Beetle. I got a few comments on my post saying that Prism looks a little bit like one of those stone head emojis, and yeah, fair enough, with the cheekbones, but LEGO doesn't really make many flesh-tone female heads with glasses unfortunately, so if you don't like my design, the best alternative would be this one from one of the women's football sets, but again, the orange glasses would need editing or painting or something, so personally, the Power Man one works. I've also given her a microphone, just like Flambe, but you could also give her some power blasts. Next is probably the trickiest one, Golem. I've done my best to make him minifigure scale, and I'm going to show you how to make him in 4 parts. So starting with his head/torso, we're going to take these pieces and attach them like so. And then his left arm is just Hagrid's with a dark brown hand added on. Then his legs, we're going to use these pieces and attach them like this. The build's a little bit tricky, but once he's all together and you have the angle right, he can stand sturdily. Then finally, his upper right arm is made up of these pieces, assembled like so, with the right arm following suit. Now, I'm no expert mock builder by any means, but I think he turned out really well. The eyes were definitely the hardest part, but I think using these half-rounded 1x1 tiles gives him a little bit of expression, kinda like how LEGO does with the dots theme. Now let's finish off the Z team with the two you get the option to cut. Let's start with Sonar. But we've got the head and hair from Braptor, but the one from Blister is a little bit better since it doesn't have the metal on it. The torso is from this LEGO City Conductor, the hips are from Commissioner Gordon, and then the legs are from this Death Star Gunner. I've also given him some handcuffs from that one scene where he thought he was going to see some studs. You could also use the same hair from Ash from Ninjago to make him a little bit more sleek, or this one from Grip Hook, so I'll leave that one up to you. And then, I don't know whether it's Coupe or Coupe, but here she is. I've used the hair from 2012 Bruce Wayne, with the head from Soccer Mom Batgirl. The torso is from 2022's Catwoman, with the arms from the Tin Man, and then the Rocker Batman's legs with some plain black hips. And then the wings are just the black Shima ones that come with Razor, on one of those clear neck brackets, but you could also use one of the ones from the Bat minifigure that we just talked about, but I don't think they work well personally. I've also given her one of the spearhead pieces used on Galactus for her small projectiles. That's all we have for the Z team, but if you've watched any of these videos before, you'd know this is where we start the bonus rounds.
Hey, if you want to see even more LEGO customs on a regular basis, you should totally check out Beacon_Bricks on Instagram and TikTok. He posts 3 times a week over there, and there's a bunch of different stuff, such as Marvel, FNAF, Invincible and more. I sometimes look at him whilst I sit outside of the villain bar. Anyways, back to the figs. Bye.
Let's continue things on with the two that you can either replace Sonar or Coupe with, Waterboy and Phenomenon. Personally, I like to put Waterboy on the team, so let's start with him. He uses the hair from Emmett from the LEGO movie, with the head from Velma, the backwards torso from Giant Man with some different arms, and then the legs from this boxer. Now, we have the opposite situation here to Prism, where I'm using a female head for Waterboy, but I think this one works super well. The freckles and the expression, and then the blue glasses make them look enough like goggles in my opinion, but if you don't agree, you can use this one from Leonard, or this hairpiece from the LEGO Batman movie Dick Grayson, paired up with his head that I love to cover up. And then, if you want to make him look like he's using the water abilities, you can use these two pieces snapped into his hand. Moving on to Phenomenon, we have the hair from Jacob from Fantastic Beasts, with the head from Nigel Mansell, the armour piece from Lord Raz, the arms from Scarlet Witch, the legs from Zombie Hunter Spider-Man with some plain red hips, and then the torso underneath is from a Senate Commando. I can't believe it's taken so long to get onto her, but now we move on to Blonde Blazer. Her hair is from Luna Lovegood, with the head from Stargirl, the armour from Okoye, the cape from the LEGO Batman movie Robin, the torso from Root Beer Bell with the arms swapped out, and then the legs I think are from Builder minifigure, so I'll put the part number on screen. Honestly, I think this might be one of my best customs. I love how underneath the armour you can see the torso makes it look like she's wearing the amulet, and you could also give her a glass cup to reference the start of the game too. I hope you're keeping up, because now Chase is here! For him, I've gone for the hair from Nearly Headless Nick, the head from George Washington Carver, the torso from Webslinger, and then the legs from KB. I don't know if you can tell, but I accidentally used the wrong hands when recording this. This figure has dark brown hands, but the head tone is actually the new umber skin tone, so be sure to get the right one if you're trying to make the figure fully accurate. Now, the last of our good guys here, we have Royd. He just uses Robert's parts with different arms, the hair from Mordo, and then the head from Namor. But you could also use the hair from Lurtz, or the one from the Loki minifigure that we mentioned earlier. Like the video to fist bump Royd, this totally isn't engagement bait, at all. And then our final two minifigures are going to be villains this time, so let's start with Toxic. He's pretty much just a green guy, so I've used the head from Retox, with the torso from Hulk, and then the legs from Builder minifigure once again. And then I've also given him a green sausage for an accessory, for absolutely no reason at all. Let's just move past this guy. Then let's complete today's session with Shroud. The mask for him is a little bit tricky, but I'll come back to that. So we start off with the hood piece from Grimy. It kind of looks like my hood piece, but it's not me. I'm not Shroud. I'm not the werewolf, I promise. The head is from Trudgeon, with the torso and legs from Spider-Man Noir. The mask issue that I mentioned earlier is that I can't really tell whether his mask is red or if that's just the lighting. So if it is red, you can use the one from Darth Revan or Rumble. I also used this piece from the Lightyear sets, as well as a couple others to create the Astral Pulse, so I'll put those on screen as well. And there we have it. That was my whole Dispatch custom showcase. I think I covered all the main characters, but I have to ask, would you guys choose Invisigal or Blonde Blazer? Please let me know in the comments below. I clearly don't have a preference, as you can see. But as always, if there's any other characters you'd like me to make, even outside of Dispatch, please let me know. Please also like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.
I lied.